What's going on today, everybody? I am Troy from Marks on Media, and we are talking about Neil Gaiman yet again. This time he has some stuff to say. More accusers have come out of the woodwork. It's not a good time had by all. In fact, it is quite the opposite of a good time had by all. More and more just keeps piling up. So far, Neil Gaiman really hasn't said anything himself. His lawyers have said stuff like, dude, everything he did was legal, money exchanged hands, whatever. So he's got some freaky things he likes to do with women, but it was all consensual adult stuff, whatever. Regardless, he's finally speaking up and talking for himself now, so we're going to get into all of that here in just a moment. But first, if you could, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell to be notified every time I post new content. Look at this kitty here. Don't you want to make him happy? Hey, say hi, Noah. Say hi to the people. Anyway, now let's get into it.
Marks on Media.
I have been trying to stay hot on this story for all of you to give you the latest in all of the news involving Neil Gaiman and whether he is a creep that deserves more than just our scorn, or if he's just a creep that just deserves our scorn. And I've been trying to play both sides of it here, but let's get into what he actually has to say here before I touch more on that and get into what some of the comments said, which I agree with. But either way, the Sandman creator Neil Gaiman breaks silence after 4 more women accuse him of S.A. I don't accept there was any abuse. After an additional quartet of women recently came forward to accuse the once esteemed author of S.A., the Sandman creator Neil Gaiman has finally broken his self-imposed radio silence and offered his first public response to the harrowing claims made against him. There you see panels from the Sandman, which I love, but I know some people are like, oh, I could never read the Sandman again, and I mean, whatever, you know, you do you, man. I still love his work. I separate art from artist, so, you know, maybe that's how I compartmentalize it. As previously reported, Gaiman's current controversy began in July 2024 when British news outlet Tortoise Media published a 6-part podcast detailing the stories of 2 separate women who claimed to have been had bad behavior done to them by the author. I'm not going to go through that again. I talked about it in previous videos. This article I have linked down in the video description from Bounding into Comics actually has Tortoise Media's first episode there, The Bath, and we talked about that on the first time I covered this as well. These women would not be the last to come forward with such accusations against the author. On January 13th, which I covered recently, New York Magazine would also publish a piece by Lila Shapiro titled "There Is No Safe Word: How the best-selling fantasy author Neil Gaiman hid the darkest parts of himself for decades," therein detailing the personally provided stories for 4 additional women who claim to have been victims of bad behavior by the author. Notably, each woman's story is equal parts extensive, harrowing, and straight-up repugnant, and as such, it is recommended that those curious about the full details of the experience read Shapiro's piece in full. But here, they just provide some bits and pieces of it there you can read if you want to. There's more Sandman panels, just to throw it in there. They go into some of that. Okay, here we go. Finally, comments from Gaiman himself on his personal blog. He said, "Over the past many months, I have watched these stories circulating on the internet about me with horror and dismay. I've stayed quiet until now, both out of respect for the people who were sharing their stories and out of a desire not to draw even more attention to a lot of misinformation," he began. "I've always tried to be a private person and felt increasingly that social media was the wrong place to talk about important personal matters. I've now reached a point where I feel that I should say something." Okay, what do you got to say, Neil? He has a lot to say. Here we go. As I read through the latest collection of accounts, there are moments I half recognize and moments I don't. Descriptions of things that happened sitting beside things that emphatically did not happen. He then asserted, I'm far from a perfect person, but I have not engaged in non-consensual bedroom activities with anyone ever. To this end, he then noted, I went back and read the messages I exchanged with the women around, and following the accusations that have subsequently been reported as being, not consensual, or forceful. These messages have read now, as they did when I received them, of two people enjoying entirely consensual bedroom relationships and wanting to see one another again. At that time, I was in those relationships and they seemed positive and happy on both sides. And I also realized, looking through them years later, that I could have and should have done so much better. The Coraline creator continued. Yes, he wrote Coraline, a children's book that turned into a children's movie that many people enjoy. Yuck. I was emotionally unavailable while having a bedroom activity, or while being available in the bedroom, self-focused and not as thoughtful as I could or should have been. I was obviously careless with people's hearts and feelings, blah, blah, blah. I deeply regrets it, yada, yada, yada.
I'm deeply sorry.
And it goes on and on, yada, yada, basically saying, I did minimal things wrong. The only thing I did was, maybe I was just like, I didn't think enough about their feelings, and I was emotionally unavailable. I just wanted to fool around in the bedroom, but this was two consenting adults. Both of us seemed like we liked it. I mean, I don't understand. Yada, 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 yada.
Not great, Bob.
Here's from one of the alleged victims here. Notably, Palmer also issued a statement in the wake of Shapiro's article going live. However, her account's more to a no comment than anything substance. Anything of substance. Gosh, I can't talk. Taken to her Instagram, the Dresden Dolls vocalist informed the public, as there are ongoing custody and divorce proceedings, I am not able to offer public comment. Please understand that I am first and foremost a parent. I ask for privacy at this time. I don't know if I really buy into Gaiman. I mean, maybe Gaiman's telling the truth. He's still a creep and a ghoul at the end of the day. I mean, that's not really up for debate. He's not saying this stuff. He's saying some of this stuff didn't happen, but he's not saying none of this happened, whatever. And all of it was gross. All of it was, like, inappropriate, in my opinion. But I kind of agree with some of the people in the comment section saying these women kept coming back. Most of them, anyway. If not all of them. They kept coming back. They put themselves in some really weird situations where he's like, hey, how about you, go take a bath in my claw tub out in my garden, after babysitting my kid. Oh! And then he goes and joins her when she does. What? Ew! What the fuck? Why? Why are you doing any of this? And it's not like he's some big, important guy that can get you a job. Yeah, he's a big famous author, and he's involved in television shows and movies sometimes. But Neil Gaiman is who you're going to be like, oh, he could do something for me. I don't think that was it.
Why would you do that?
I don't get it. I don't know if they wanted to do it or if they... I really don't know. It's either way, it's weird. And I was talking to my wife about some of this stuff, and she's like, I would never put myself in these situations. Like, what? I definitely wouldn't go back over and over. Like, what the hell? I wouldn't be exchanging text messages with this guy or calls or emails or anything. Like, what? It just kind of blows me away. So either way, is it a money grab? I don't know. I mean, he paid them all. So, or seemingly, I don't know about them all. He paid some of them. He admitted that his lawyer admitted to that. He admitted to that. It's public record. But I don't know. You all be the judge. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Is Neil Gaiman a gigantic ghoul and a creep? I'm going to say yes. Do you think he's a purveyor of non-consensual activities with women, female suitors? Maybe. Do you think so? I really don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. And should other people speak out about this guy, like J.K. Rowling said recently? Like, hey, why is nobody saying anything? But you could all talk about Harvey in Hollywood, but you can't talk about this dude. I don't know. Either way, let me know what you guys think. Join in the discussion down below. If you want to read the full article, I do link it in the video description. And always, if you could, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell. That'd be super cool of you. I would very much enjoy it. I am Troy from Marks on Media, and we'll see you next time.
You are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity.